And I think we're live. StreamYard's trying to play some tricks on us today, going a little bit slower. It didn't even want to let Nick in here to talk and stuff, but we got him straightened out, you guys. This is the Doctor's Orders live stream on the Dr. Nick's Amazing Man Stuff YouTube channel. If I could take a quick little pause. If you could, hit the thumbs up, aka the like button on this stream. And if you want to share this out with some friends, we take great pride in having an amazing environment, whether it's live in the chat and getting involved and adding to the discussion, or watching the replay, which is, I know some people look forward to that after work. It's like they get to come home and they have something to kind of get them through the day. If you do that, leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. And again, share it with your friends. Even if they don't have a beard, I think they might like this community and personalities that make it up. So thank you guys for all the support. We're on episode 102 in a row. And today we're going to talk about what is to come for Dr. Nick's in the fall, and we want to hear from you guys on what you would like, so stay tuned for that. But first, introductions, of course. First off, we have to introduce Julie in the chat. See that little wrench? That means she's a moderator. That means she can kick your butt out of here. She can throw you in timeout. She has a lot of power because she is the mother of this company, essentially. She is the mother of the man next to me. And speaking of the man next to me, my name's Dan. I'm the co-host of this show. I really love beard care. I really love this company, and I love getting the word out about both. And the man next to me, he's a gearhead. He's a metalhead. He's a pognophile. This man has a diverse collection of tattoos from artists around the world. This man is a world champion pognophile. Now, when I say by that, I mean he loves beards, and he has the metal to prove it. If you could, please help welcome my well-rounded co-host and his wife, the co-owner, the person who's in behind the scenes creating and coming up with ideas, but also, hey, having to take some tough customer service emails in some tough situations. She doesn't just do just the creation stuff. Jillian Phelps in the chat also met with Mr. Nick Phelps over here. Nick, other than hungry, how you doing?
Man, well, first off, hungry, I think Jill's going to remedy that though. So if everyone sees my camera go dark in a minute, it's just because I'm not making you watch this mustache eat a chicken salad sandwich. Yeah, it's going to do that. And I'm going to be like, oh man, looks like my camera went dark. What's going on?
Internet.
Here we go. No, doing good, man. We got some cool stuff going on this week. We have some extended family in town this week, which is awesome. My sister from another Mr. Alicia's up here from Florida. Good God, we have a bunch of stuff. I mean, I know we're talking about like what's coming, but I think like what's coming this week and like what we have going on last week since we last saw you guys, I feel like I'm going to have a hard time not taking up the whole damn stream with looking in the rearview mirror.
We have to. That's what we do. We catch up. We talk about it. If you guys want to put in the chat what's going on in your life in the last week plus, please do. We'd love to hear about some things. So, Nick, first off, with what's going on, we got to talk about Jack's MIT camp because we kind of talked about what it was going to be. Yeah. Now that it's actually happened and the process has gone through, what are Jack's thoughts? What are your thoughts? And then kind of just explain to the people what he was doing, because I have secondhand pride. I'm proud as heck of that kid.
Man, I'll tell you what, it was like the coolest thing ever. Man, Jill's sneaky. She just like snuck a sandwich in from like across. She like walked through the door right there and no one saw it happen. It's like she's invisible.
That's scary.
What?
She's good. Real good. And if you guys do not know, the Jack we're referring to is Nick's son here, and he's in the picture. And we've got a couple of different pictures from this trip that they have. I like that one. And then this one here, just taking it in, just getting the whole experience. So what was going on, Nick?
So this was Jack's first time on the T in Boston, the subway. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. And so what we were doing there, though, is so Jack, we got him signed up for this really cool summer course that they have for different age ranges, and they hold them on the MIT campus down in Cambridge. So you got different age ranges of kids and everything from programming to virtual reality game development to 3D printing, 3D modeling. I mean, all of that stuff. They have a really wide range of stuff. I mean, they have like 30 or 40 different potential courses you can take. It's crazy. But
That's
the company
amazing.
that puts it on is a third party, and MIT hosts this company on campus. And so these kids that participate in it, like for example, Jack's 11, and he got dropped off in the morning at 8:30 at MIT, and he got picked up at 5. And he was eating lunch in the where everyone else eats lunch on campus at the little cafes. They got just crazy exposure of just in the part of the campus they have them working in is the actual MIT lab area, and that's where they're doing tons of genetic genome work for human DNA research, all that stuff. Biogen has a facility right there on campus, and their main building is right next door.
Wow.
It's sandwiched right between Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and Akamai are like right there. So that's like the logos he's looking at out in the little courtyard in the park they're in. And I mean, it's just talk about just a who's who of technology. And he was there for 3D modeling using Blender, open source kind of, like kind of industry standard 3D modeling application. And for the purposes of basically creating 3D models and turning those into frameworks that you can then create a 3D printed model out of. So what's neat is they go in there, they learn Blender, they learn the 3D printers. There's some prerequisite knowledge required for the one that Jack was using for what he was doing. And at the end of the course, they send you an exact copy of the 3D printer that you used in class
What?
to have at home. So
What?
I bought him a couple extra one-on-one sessions for after the course. Then he gets his 3D printer. Then he gets stuck, and boom, he's got some follow-on one-on-one video chat kind of support that comes with it. So, I mean, just talk about a cool thing to be able to do when you're 11. And,
Yeah. And
like we're
around.
looking at for next year,
Yeah.
and he kind of wants to do something in the VR space there. But
Ooh.
the way I look at it, man, is like we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was last week when we were first talking about this. Like, you didn't, you thought you knew what you wanted to do, but then a lot of people think they know what they want and they go do it and they're like, this is awful. I want to
Yeah.
go do something else.
Me.
Forget those 4 years of college.
Yeah.
Um,
Me.
I think, yeah, case in point, like I think this is a good way to like almost get a little bit of exposure to kind of what the people are like that you'd be working with, what kind
Yep.
of work you'd be doing, what kind of environment you'd be in, etc.
No, exactly. Like you said, that I think the coolest aspect is just being around such like-minded people in an area that's not as common for a community, right? To give you an alternative example, Maddox went all over the country for like soccer this summer. He was in Ohio, he was in Indiana, Wisconsin, all over the place and did these camps. It's very simple to find like-minded soccer athletes. Like you can do that at a camp, and there's a wide range of them. Some are super dedicated, some are super mean, some are super nice and weak, and all these things. It's rare that you have like this group of like all these super intelligent, highly passionate 11-year-olds about coding.
Yeah.
That's usually before his age. Yeah, or that's before when you start to get into that stuff. So
Yeah.
for him to be around not only the kids, but the workers and the employees and stuff, it just had to be like an alternative universe for him in like the best way possible.
It literally was like it was kind of cool. Like the little they sit them down in this big outdoor amphitheater that they do. Oh yeah, so I mean here they are. They do this little outdoor amphitheater. Guess what they use that for? Well, I mean Berkeley School of Music is like 3 doors down. So like whenever they have like little outdoor sessions and stuff like that for the things happening on the campus, they just get like a stringed group of people to come over from Berkeley School of Music and sit there and play free concerts. Like
No big deal.
yeah, no big deal. And so, he was, I watch him walk in. He like, there's an empty spot between 2 other kids sitting there. So he like walks past 2 kids and sits down between 2 others. And immediately, like the 2 kids he sits next to, like I see him look over and they hold their hands out and they shake his hand. And they're like, the other one shakes his hand, so it's like, and just like you said, I mean, if you take 500 kids from a middle school in Marshfield where we live,
Yep.
400 of them are going to be into sports.
Yep.
Out of 500, right? And then you're going to have like 50 music kids and 50 nerds. And I mean, and that's the way it's going to be, right? It's just that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Probably even less than that other places, maybe
Well,
more.
especially like coding and that type of stuff, it even gets smaller.
It is like you're out in Cupertino, California, in Sunnyvale, and your dad works for
Different.
Google. Chances are you're going to have a good sample set there, but
Different. Yep.
not here. Not where you are, not where we are.
So what
It,
what
yeah,
was his biggest takeaway?
his biggest takeaway would have to probably be that like there's large groups of people that think like he does. I
I
think it's
love
one thing
that.
that he got, and he doesn't feel. I'm hoping he doesn't feel so apt to like want to conform to people who aren't into the same things he's into anymore.
Yes.
Like I repeated some of the things that you and I talked about last week to him, and we are going to get on that call we talked about with him.
Good.
And it resonated with him. He's like, well, there was always like only like one or two other kids that are into the stuff I'm into. And I'm like, well, we have 5 elementary schools, and that's getting collapsed into 1 middle school. So now you have that one kid from the 5 schools. Now there's 5 of you guys. Like,
Yep.
go find them. Like, who
Yes.
cares about trying to figure out how to be into the same stuff that the other kids are into? Like, don't.
Man, and we all now looking back and zooming out, and we think about how we viewed people in high school and how they were. Now we see that they were peaking, and that middle school and high school was their best years ever, and that's so sad to me. Like you went up to 18, and then everything's been downhill since then. And I tell my kids, I'm like, you're not going to peak in high school. You're not going to, like, everything is going to continue to get better, and that's so huge. And Moose, yeah, me and Nick had a big talk last week about my middle school teaching experience and seeing the kids that were special, the kids that were making it, the kids that are now out of school and killing it. And it was literally the ones that did not conform to the pressure of that middle school society. And so, yeah, finding that early on as a teacher of 12 years, I cannot express to you guys enough. If anybody has kids, anybody has nieces, nephews, having them find their own thing,
Do it.
do it. And I don't care if it's something.
And don't tell them they can't make money with it.
Right. Thank you. I'm so sick of that crap too.
Oh,
I'm so sick of that crap.
that's what
Because
happened to me.
number one, they probably will make money off
They
it,
will.
so, yeah, shush. Number two, who cares? There's a lot of value in chasing a passion and going after goals. And even if you don't meet them, the lessons you learn along that journey that will translate to whatever you want to go make money in. Hush up. I'm so sick of people projecting their insecurities on kids. Like, stop
Dude,
that.
it sucks. Like when I was in high school, like I won a golden key in the Boston Globe Fine Arts competition for photography. And but like literally I was still on like riding the high of that whole thing. And my dad's like, a couple months later, he's like, hey, so what do you think you're gonna do when you get out of high school? He's like, you're not going to college, clearly. He's like, what are you doing after high school? I was like, I was thinking about going to work for the Boston Globe, go be a newspaper, go be a photographer for a newspaper, magazine, kind of see where that goes. He's like, all right, let's do a fun project. He's like, it's Sunday. I'll go grab the paper from upstairs. He slaps down the one ads in front of me. He's like, find me one job for a photographer that doesn't have any experience. And I was like, of course, didn't find any. And he's like, what's option B? And I was like, well, I don't know, probably computers, He's like, oh, sweet. They got 3 whole pages of that. Let's go ahead and look through those. Which one of those do you think you want to do? It's like,
Yep.
and I get the message, right?
Right.
Like, I understand like where he came from looking back at it. He was born in the 40s, he grew up in the 50s and 60s. And, you didn't have, there wasn't the ability to employ yourself as readily as a creative person back then as there is now, obviously.
Correct.
But just looking back on it, I always wonder, I was like, like what would have happened in that one weird Sunday conversation standing around the kitchen counter? Like, if he'd have been like, oh, that sounds cool. Yeah, you could probably do that without call. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, 100%. And I've had it kind of 2 ways in my life where doing this, what I do here now as a career, you would have never believed how many people came out of the woodwork and are like, are you sure there's a backup plan? What's your this and that? And it's ridiculous. And then the other one that I've talked about before, but it drives me crazy, is we're all in on supporting our kids' passions. My boys, it just happens to be soccer. Now, they're all in on it. We've never had to tell them a word. But there's so many people that will like openly mock us or openly bring us down, that will say things like, oh man, just wait 3 more years. Everybody with the kids your age think their kid's gonna be on the Olympic team and think their kid's gonna be pro. And I'm like, I do. You are absolutely correct. If he wants to, I know for a fact he will, especially Maddox. And if he doesn't, that's okay too. But what good is there to me going and thinking my kids aren't going to be at the top level? Because there's 14 roster spots, 18 roster spots. They're going to be filled out with someone his age. Why not him?
Yeah, they are. And like, but again, in the people that are there and they make that list, did they go into it thinking like they were never going to make it?
Right.
Of course they did.
Highly doubt. Highly doubt that. So, man, I'm so happy for Jack. Can't wait to hear about it. I'm going to talk about two other things, you guys, real quick here. The first one is it may come off like it's a selfish thing, but it's not here. And I'll bring this up. And if Nick's has to take a little pop out anytime, sir. But if you guys did not catch it, on Friday, there was a video on my channel, Dancy Bearded YouTube channel, and this was a head hair shampoo and conditioner video. Now, this was not requested by Dr. Nick. Nick or Jill did not say, hey, can you please highlight these? They're not doing well or anything like that. I've just been using the heck out of the wash and the conditioner on my head hair. Yes, I do have head hair, everybody. And it's been so good. But what really made me prompt to make this video is Violet likes to shower in our shower. Why? I don't know. It's her parents' shower. She thinks it's cool. It's different. And when we're down there, I don't have her like kid washing stuff. We usually use Honest, which is like the Jessica Alba brand. We really like it. So I was like, what is my safest, cleanest thing that I would put on the literal like diamond of my life, Violet, my 4-year-old daughter? And I did the shampoo and the conditioner. I got her out, dried her off, and then I had to go help the boys, and I passed her to Sam to get ready for the bed. Sam was blown away by how well it worked on her hair. Now, I don't super talk about that in the video because I was not trying to make a video saying, buy this for your kids, But I'm telling you guys, because you guys know me very well, it was unbelievable. I used it the next time. Her hair has never been softer, never been more manageable, feels clean, feels amazing. And for me, I think one of the biggest differences is that aloe base for the shampoo. It's just different. It's just quality. Now, does it cost more than per ounce at your store bought products? Yeah, of course, absolutely. But you get what you pay for. And so if you guys have used the wash and conditioner, please go to that video and leave a comment. Not even for me, for Dr. Nick's, because if people read those and they hear from you guys, it just really hits different. Like Jim right here says, my girlfriend has been using the shampoo and conditioner and loves it. Man, it's a fact. It's an absolute fact. And Phil tried his brother's peppermint rosemary. Yeah, and that's what I love, the peppermint rosemary on it. It's absolutely amazing. Amazing. So for me, asking you guys a favor for this great company, an easy way to support them is go watch that video, go leave a comment and let people know your experience if you've tried. If not, no worries. I'm not trying to have people say anything that's not true. And I'm excited to see where this shampoo and conditioner goes because it's special. It's really good. And just remember, you get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. And Jason says right here, I hit up Nick after we bought the wash. My wife used it twice and threw away our old shampoo brand. Oh, you're muted, Nick.
That was huge. I remember that coming in like that. And I remember hearing that and thinking to myself, like, whoa, I mean, that was one of the biggest like votes of confidence we got when we were first doing this. And I was like, oh, okay, this has got legs. Like, this is good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Went to throw away something they spent their hard-earned money because, and I've been there too. It hurts your soul. Me and Nick both did actually recently. Deodorant.
Week.
Yeah, deodorant. It hurts my soul to throw away something I paid for, but there's no situation in my life where I'm going to use that old product that is worse. It's not worth trying to the money's already spent. You're not getting it back. And so, Jason, yeah, that was huge. And Justin, yeah, please, man, ask whatever question you have on this one. And Jill says, my hair feels amazing after every use. I use just the conditioner on days I don't want to wash the scalp. There you go. And okay, and David, I got your question starred there. Zach says, my hair is super curly and frizzy. I put it in a ponytail and it looks like a tangled fluff ball. I can finally get a comb through my hair. Wow. He can finally get a comb through his hair.
Dude, that's huge. I mean, and also you can get your comb through your hair, and then when your hair dries, it doesn't look like a snow globe when you stand and put your fingers through your hair because it doesn't have all the crazy residue that some of those others that are like detangling conditioners.
Right.
Those things leave all kinds of residue, I heard from people.
No doubt. No doubt. And then it's disguised as dandruff, which that's not even real dandruff, but it
It's not.
is essentially the same thing. The real CEO says, I'm growing my hair back after 30 years of buzz cuts just so I can order and use the Dr. Nick shampoo.
Dude, I hope that's true. Like,
I think
I
it
really,
is.
I do. And you know what? Being like, because you're like, forget what your job was or is. I don't take it as someone who's going to blow smoke up people's butts. And I mean, I, I would love to support that. I'll tell you what, you get hair back long enough to use wash and conditioner on. I'll send you a bottle of it for the efforts.
That's so cool. And Jack, on a similar note, says, this is one of the best beard washes on the market. Facts. Absolute facts.
Thanks, man.
And Phil says, my hair has never felt more soft, nourished, soothed. And that was after one time.
Well, and actually, I will point something out there too. Like, you know how you get those products and they're like, might take 3 or 4 uses to really notice the difference and this kind of thing. I have never heard from anybody with our beard wash that they didn't get, if they did get a noticeable difference, that it wasn't after the first time they used it. And I think that little marketing tactic is almost to like get people used to the way something feels, as opposed to feeling the difference. Like,
right.
If you feel it the first time, you're like, wow, like that's a lot different than before.
Yep.
But if you don't, and then like they say, well, it could take like 5 or 6 days to really take full effect. By then you're like, oh yeah, I mean, it feels different. And then in your head, you're like, well, yeah, there was a difference. But
yeah, that is interesting thought. Very, very interesting. And here's a good question for you. Is there a recommended hair length? Oh yeah, I got the next one for you. Sorry. Is there a recommended hair length to use conditioner since you don't want to get it directly on your scalp? Yeah. So head hair, they generally say like shoulder length is a good base. Now, do guys with shorter hair use conditioner to soften up the hair? Absolutely. I have a very dry skin other than my scalp. My scalp is very oily and I get oily hair. So I don't use conditioner on my head hair because it just makes it additionally too oily. But I wash it every single day. Some people don't with their head hair, just kind of like the beards. But yeah, you want to keep it away from the scalp. And in the head hair industry community, it's shoulder length is anything below is when you start using it. And then I answered this one to him in a comment, but he wanted to pose it to you as well, Nick. Justin says, so Nick, I've been using a 2-in-1 shampoo and I end up getting hat acne and scalp acne often. Would this shampoo help my scalp? It seems to be sensitive.
I mean, I would throw something out there just right off the bat, not being that kind of doctor or anything, but I would bet since it's a 2-in-1 shampoo, you are applying what is the second part of that wash, which is conditioner. You're applying it directly to your scalp. And then, so that stuff's clogging your pores. And then you put a hat on and it seals in the oils that are sitting there from that conditioner, and glycerin and God knows what else, right? And then you're sealing that into your scalp. So, I mean, you're creating like a barrier, and that's why, I mean, how are you not supposed to get conditioner on your scalp? Okay, so combine the last question with this one.
Yep.
How are you supposed to not get conditioner on your scalp if you're using a 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner, if the shampoo part is supposed to go on your scalp, right? It's one liquid. It's not like, we talked about it before. It's not like there's nanobots. So it's like, really, I think I would say the problem there would have to be the fact that you're clogging the pores in your scalp and you're exacerbating that problem with the hat holding that in, not letting it air dry. So maybe the rest of your scalp would do the same thing if you like put a swimmer's cap on your head afterwards, right?
Right.
But I bet that's what's going on. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's the residue from the 2-in-1. You gotta stop. You gotta stop.
Get out of there.
And then going to something like an aloe base, you're going from the worst end of the spectrum to the best end. You're gonna see a drastic difference.
That would be a huge difference, dude.
Yep.
I mean, you're going to see a big one because also, you got to think you're going to be able to get that, the shampoo and get the wash really good into your scalp, cleanse it really well. And then I would even say, in my mind, you'd almost want to do your face wash like before your head shampoo, or maybe right after would be fine. But I would after, what I would do is you do a wash, do your shampoo, then do your conditioner, trying to keep it off your scalp as much as possible. And then what I would probably end up doing is use your face wash and just go a little further up on your forehead, kind of get that hat line area. And that way you're going to be clarifying the pores around your hat brim line, as you'd have it. And you might just need to give that a little extra love for a while to help clear up whatever, remnants you were having from the acne.
Yeah. So I don't know this answer. Justin says, how long would a bottle of shampoo roughly estimate? Nick
No
doesn't
way to
either.
tell, man. That'd be like asking me like how long a bottle of beard wash washes. Like if I told everyone how long a bottle of 8-ounce beard wash lasts me, no one would buy it.
Right.
Like
Right.
they'd be like, "Whoa, that's going to be a lot of money every month." But it's the same with beard oil. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I use 2 pipettes of that at least all the time, and I use
Same.
a big old puddle of beard wash
Yeah.
before I put it in.
2.5 right now. I don't know shampoo because I rotate so many different things. It's hard for me to tell like how long a single item lasts. Several months at least, Justin, would be my estimate. You don't need much, man, and you have shorter hair, so just like a little dime size, you're gonna get at least. I would be very confident in saying 3 to 6 months of use out of that bottle. Very
I'd say
confident.
at least 3. Yeah, I'd say 3 would be like I'd be super confident saying 3, 3-4 months, something like that. I mean, unless you're just using way too much of it, right?
Right, right. And Christopher says smearing sweat and conditioner into your skin is bound to cause acne. Yeah, and it's usually that hat line right here. I used to go to the gym and work out in a hat, and that was my main problem. Was just it's just not good to have something keeping sodium even, right? Even if you're the cleanest guy ever, you sweat out sodium. If you lock that in your pores, you're gonna get acne. And so,
Oh yeah.
yep, that is definitely a problem. All right, Kevin says 3 months would be my guess for one person. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too far off on that one. And Jill kind of backs me up and says ear length is safe for conditioner, but most likely not necessary until shoulder length unless your hair is really dry or damaged. Okay, good. All right, and then we got another thing to talk about real quick, and then we'll get into more on what's to come. But for the first time on this stream, we're going to talk about a new item, and I'll show you guys on the website in just a little bit here. But the new item Dr. Nix has available would be these pins. Now I'm gonna show Nick here, and then if Nick's screen magically goes black out, hey, I don't know what happened, but here are the pins right here. And for me, the biggest thing I can say is just how like sturdy and high quality these pins are. They are not your normal cheap pins that I could take and snap it with my fingers or mold them. It's a good high quality pin. Yep. There you go. And that dude works out too. So
Like,
yeah.
I'm actually pressing that thing. It does not. Is it still flat? I tried to bend the crap out of that thing just now.
Yep. No, that was the first thing that struck me was how heavy it was and how just like good quality it was. Yeah, and it's got that depth to it. It's got layers to it. Yeah. It's a small. Oh, there you go. Now, obviously, this isn't the wildest thing in the world, but Dynamite says the pins are really cool.
But it's nice.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Dynamite had an order and got it added in last minute and got it thrown in there. So that's super
You could
cool.
have asked me to throw in like my extra car keys though, Dynamite. Like you send an email like, I hope this is okay. Like I don't want to be a pain in the butt. Can you add it in? I'm like, what do you want? Yes,
I know.
of course you have it.
He shares out this stream every week as well. He is such a supportive, such a cool dude. And shout out to his son who just started soccer. He already got moved up in age group.
Heck yeah.
Yes, sir. So, okay. So we have these pins here. Here's our man, Dennis. I haven't seen him in the chat yet, but he's rocking the pin. You can put it on your hat. You can put it on your vest. You can put it on your bag. Some people have pin collections in here, actually. And, oh, nice. Jacked Up just ordered one. And so you see that bad boy right there. And I'll show you guys on the screen here. And they're available. $5 for these pins. And I'll put a link in the chat if anybody wants to look into that. For me, it's a super cool thing, and it makes for the perfect add-on order. You're already making an order. I wouldn't necessarily say, hey, go run out and order this right now by itself. But if you need to hit some free shipping thresholds, if you just want to rock a really cool pin, it's a nice little add-on. Really nice one.
All Jill. She designed them. She sourced them. She found the supplier. She went through like 8 different sample companies. She's like, I kind of like the first one. She's like, but I feel like I wouldn't be doing my job as like a Dr. Nix owner if I didn't turn it into a giant pain in the butt and order 8 more samples.
She had to go.
You're learning. Perfect. This is great.
We call that Phelpsing it, everyone.
Yeah, that's called Phelpsing, and that's her last name now. So I mean, it's part of the job.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So but she went through like do we do hard enamel, soft enamel? Do we get the layers? Is it flat? Is it printed? Is it dipped? She went through the whole process and she killed it as
Yeah.
usual.
And Jason, you're kind of starting us off on the topics where we will pretty much go from here. We're going to talk about a mix here, you guys. We're going to talk about what's to come with Dr. Nick's and things that they have planned. We're going to talk about also what you guys want to come in the future. So if you have questions, hey, is this coming back? Hey, when are you guys going to do this? Nick, literally before the stream, I told him the topic. He said, let's get a pulse for the community and what they want. Not like, hey, let's use this to tell them all the stuff that we're going to come out that I had in mind to say and like talk about the sales and all this stuff that's going to happen. He's like, let's hear what they want. I want to make that roadmap. And so Jason's kicking it off and says, I need a Dr. Nick's flat cap.
I mean, so we're in, I think what you're referring to is what we call up here a scally cap. I think.
Yeah.
So that's like a New England staple as a scally cap, and that's what Dennis wears a lot of. You see him in some of the photos that he just posted. He had it on the side of his, maybe I think, or a different photo. Maybe he had a scally cap on.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and so I mean they're super duper popular up here. We're not going to be able to get away without making one for much longer. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Jill has already ordered or tried to source some samples of those. So they're coming. Don't worry about that.
Wow, really? Look at that. Okay. You ask and they achieve. Nick, what about your wood display bases? Any timeline or thoughts on those?
I saw that question pop up. Yeah, no, we're going to bring them back. My goal this year was to have them back for fall. So, October, November, December is kind of like the 3 months that I wanted them to at least be back. And then we kind of reorganized some of the space downstairs in the wood shop. Excuse me. So we have a wood shop downstairs that we were running with a partner of mine that is now adopted by a new tenant. That's another wood shop. And so I took our CNC equipment that was making those and I put those, the CNC machine got relocated. We got a new dedicated table for it, some new dust collection for it. So the place it was in before didn't really work well for like repeatable cranking it out sort of stuff. It was like a project area, it was like a craft area almost. So the new spot is it's still downstairs, still in this building. Whole lot more space. We have a dedicated aluminum V-rail table that we just put together for it, and we're going to be able to get a lot more cranked out in there. And I have a new person working here at Dr. Nick's, Chris, that's able to also do some of that wood stuff downstairs, and he's really good with 3D design, woodworking, and such. So Chris will probably be taking those on once I train him how to do them, which will happen this fall, and then he'll keep doing them next year. So I would say once they come back in stock this fall, those should stay in stock.
Wow. And Chris sounds perfect for that. It's right up his alley.
Oh, I mean, talk about a dream gig for Wilson. I mean, that's his thing right there.
Right. All right. Let me hit this one and have you comment on it in any which way you would like, because maybe this will address some of the questions we have coming in. But Jill says merch samples have been ordered for tank tops. She said already looked at about 32 styles and hate them. Bro shorts. Wow. Sweatpants, joggers, and some sweat shorts. Now, new winter hats, skellies, and then baseball dad hats. Any additional info there, Nick?
Yeah. I'm not helping her with the dad hats, because I don't, it's, she was talking about some of the ones with like the little strap on the back and stuff like that, like the old school ones.
Yeah.
And some people do want those. I'm
straight
not
up baseball cap. Yeah.
Like them. I just don't look good in them. Head's too big.
I got the same big melon, man. I can't really pull off the dad hats.
I can't either. I can't do it. But like,
between my ear and the hat, it's just too big.
Oh, dude, it looks like in the Three Stooges where like they'd blow on their thumb and like the hat would go up kind of thing. Like that whole thing with the cane. Like that's what I look like permanently in those hats. But the scally caps, winter hats, super excited about sweatpants, joggers, sweat shorts, bro shorts. But I guess what was cracking me up. Like she's gone through more tank top samples than I have ever owned tank tops. Like she's gone through more tank top samples than I definitely more than I went through when I was, picking out the, shirts for our classic t-shirt, the next level shirt. So it's, she's been hitting that one hard, and I can't disagree with her. I mean, it's a lot of this stuff that's out there is just stuff that I wouldn't wear, and you know, and like so, like she came to me a couple of times towards the end of it. She's like, "What about this one? Like, how's this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, I thought the 110 ago was okay, and I mean, I think that one's okay. I mean, I wouldn't wear it. So if you're going for something that like I would wear, we haven't found it yet.
That's hilarious.
I don't know where they get the tank tops that are printed that I wear and I like. They're not branded for a reason, apparently, because they're hiding a good secret.
And what are bro shorts, if you had to explain?
I knew someone was going to ask that. I was just wondering who it was going to be first. But no, bro shorts are like basketball shorts, like like the nylon-y ones with the holes in them. You got like the little tiny little breather holes kind of all over the nylon-y kind of shiny, soft shorts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Up here in the Northeast, we call those bro shorts.
To check, Sam was at a doctor's appointment, got like motion and garage door. I'm like, what the heck? Apparently it got done early. Nice. All right.
Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I would say, hold up. What's going on here? But nope, all's good. No worries on the radar here.
Good.
Okay. Got that one. I need Dr. Nick's bar soap like I need my daily vitamins and minerals.
You're speaking my language, Moose, because you said that in a way that was almost just like I think it was it Team America where they were knocking on Pearl Harbor as a movie and saying how Ben Affleck was terrible in it. That was like my favorite line ever in a song. It's like, I need you more than Cuba Gooding needed a bigger part because he's way much better than Ben Affleck.
Oh my God.
So good.
Yeah, I'm not going to recite my Team America lines that come to mind right now, but
no,
go
you
ahead.
Can't. This is a PG stream.
Yep. Nope. Great song.
If you do that again, I'm gonna. Oh God, those
Team
are the
America!
winners right there. Oh, so good. So soap. So two things. I'm actually going to use this as a segue into something else. I'm going to use this as a rabbit hole, and a tantrum tangent. Not a tantrum.
Wow. Tantrum.
Oh, you know
Tuesday. Oh, that might be a stream one day.
Oh, tangent.
We're just feeling it. We just scrapped it.
Tuesday.
Yeah, we just scrapped the episode. Nope. Tantrum Tuesday. Let's talk about traffic.
No, that'd be great. And I just go all Lewis Black about something.
Yes.
Oh, I'd get my tequila. Oh, it'd be great. This would be fantastic.
I'm in.
I'm in. So soap. Two things about soap, Moose. We've made this loud and clear a bunch of different times. We work with a partner on our liquid soaps because we didn't have a soap facility here, like really built out.
Oh, you going there?
It's something that, we formulated like crazy. We adjust like crazy once we get. We obviously mix in our own scents, essential oils. That's all our normal process that we go through. And we add in some additional pH changes and a bunch of other things to it. We got so proficient at kind of coming up with the surfactant profiles that we like, that I wrapped my head around it to a point that I actually didn't think I was going to wrap my head around with liquid soaps. And we are building out a whole liquid soap facility downstairs attached to the oil and butter production room. And it's going to be dedicated to nothing but producing raw material based liquid soaps. We're going to be bringing in 55-gallon drums of aloe juices. It's going to be a full on production facility straight from the bottom up. Like right now, we kind of started about the halfway point with our soaps, right? And we finished them off, and we scent them, we bottle them, we mix them, we adjust pH, we do everything else here. And now we're going to be able to control the first part of that process as well, which is super duper cool. There's not going to be any change with that you're not going to be like, oh wow, that makes it even cooler. Like there's not going to be any change where you're like, that's cool, but there literally none of that. We're doing it all for like very positive reasons, very intentionally. And we're doing it because we think there's a couple of additional tweaks that we can make that you can't make external to yourself as a business. And so I think there's going to be some very welcome changes coming there. So that's super exciting. Now, to answer your question, Moose, is that we are now going to have a space dedicated to soap, right? And so what does that allow us to do but explore more things with soap? We want to, there's lots of women who buy our products for their men. There's lots of women who buy our products for themselves. We want things like bath bombs that are shaped like our little pin logo here one day
Oh,
that
that'd
can
be cool.
float on top of the water and come out black and white foam everywhere. And
Wow.
we want more, more things in that space. And bar soap is one of them because unlike myself, lots of people like bar soap. I'm not one of them. And my goal with bar soap at Dr. Nick's is to literally do what we did with, do what we're doing with deodorant, right? I'm going to make it until we have one that I'm going to use every day, and it'll be the only thing I use. And I think with the bar soap, it's not going to replace my liquid soap for myself, but it will be one that I put into rotation, and I won't be repelled away from ever using again and throw in the trash like every other bar soap that I buy. So it's coming. And not only am I saying that it's coming, it's most likely coming 2025. And I would also say that it's not just lip service, because I mean we're building out a whole little 400 500-ish square foot area that's dedicated to nothing but soap production, my friend. So it's
Man,
coming.
I hope you guys realize how special this stream is. Couple of thoughts here. Number one, I'm a soap everyday guy. Now I used to kind of use anything. I've really limited it down to like the best soap ingredients and process, and almost entirely only essential oil based. I don't use anything that is going to be a fragrance for the most part with soap. And every day I use it. First thing I do when I get in the shower is get my hands wet. I get the soap bar on my hands and I do the pits and the bits every day. That's no matter what. Now, sometimes I do strip my beard. Sometimes I'll use it on my face and my head hair, maybe once a week. But I'm beyond excited. Now, they do have some ideas with soap that are going to be very different if they're able to pull this off, which I'm very excited about. But the thing that I was just mentioning that I hope you guys realize how special this stream is. I had the task of getting Nick out there, right, to talk about stuff in a way that's not usual or comfortable for most businesses. And we take pride in this stream having long form transparency. Now, I absolutely love the long form transparency, but there is still a traditional part of me that sometimes I hear stuff and I'm like, oh man, he's going there. Oh wow, I feel Jill. I can literally, my skin's like, I feel Jill watching this. And the soap, I hope you guys just realize he just let a big cat out of the bag there. He just let a full size like tiger out of the bag. They're going to be switching to entirely in-house water-based soap making in-house. They control every aspect. The amount of quality beard product companies that do that would be in single-digit percentages. Single-digit percentage. It's very, very, very uncommon. Now, I have planned an entire stream about that topic, and it's going to talk about the saponification process. It's going to talk about he just told you guys they're building a room, a soap room. That shows you how serious that is. And again, a lot of companies would be so hesitant to say this because they'd be worried about others copying them and beating them to the market and trying to take that spotlight. And they're going to. That's just what happens. Anytime I talk about something, it happens. Anytime this company talks about it, unfortunately, there's companies that watch these streams for a very particular reason, and it's like info gathering. And so we're going to see this happen, but I love that Nick doesn't care. I love that Jill lets him just run free, and I love that we have this.
Lets me. That's funny. Tolerates is a much better word.
Yeah, tolerates it. I love that we have this stream to get that out there because that's going to be huge. It is going to be huge bringing that soap in-house, total control, start to finish. Most don't do it because they don't have the facility and the expertise. It's very hard to make soap. It's even harder to make water-based products. Mm-hmm. And so having that all in-house is going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. So
it's going to be very, very cool.
I'm pumped. I'm really, really pumped. And yes, I need the literal top of my Dr. Nick's wish list is soap. That's my number one. I really want soap, followed by deodorant. So Nick, where are we at on deodorant? And Zach would also like to know on the custom-made wooden combs.
I was reeling in hard.
She's trying to get you back to the boat.
Yep. That's it. I'm a big fish.
You're a big catch. That's what you are, sir. You're the big catch.
Oh man. or at least a real pain in the ass one that gets you stuck in the weeds. Yeah,
Right.
I don't know if it's like going to be worth it. Might not be a trophy fish, but I'm going to put up a good fight.
Yep. It's a story.
What's the word on combs and deodorant? Combs. That's going to pick back up when I get the CNC machine back up and working, because I I'm not going to slap our logo on something else that you can buy somewhere else. I figured it out. Like I in that world, I'm perfectly happy sending business to Chicago Combs until I come up with something that I think is unique and cool. I think there's enough people putting their logos on these things, right? I mean, do we need another one of these with a different brand on it, or would you just be happy with a blank one? I'll take a blank one. Like that's what I use besides the Chicago. I'm not going to just put our logo on something else that I buy 1,000 of them from China and laser burn it in there. It's pointless. So combs are coming back when I finally get the process down for seeing some awesome epoxy slash wood slash other sort of material combs. I even looked at so far of doing like the there's fossilized cactus that is like has some really cool stuff from an ion standpoint.
Wow.
With no electricity needed. Like there's like petrified rock that works really cool for it, and petrified wood that like, really actually has some cool benefits for your skin. Like they use them on those stones that the Japanese women kind of rub across their face. And so, I mean, there's some neat possibilities for materials. I'm on it. It's just going to take a while because it's behind the display bases, behind a couple other things.
Yep.
Deodorant, it's front and center. I'm still not happy with the natural one that I'm using, but I know what I'm going to fix about it.
Okay.
And oddly enough, there might be something before our solid stick deodorant comes out. I've found that it's easier to formulate something that's effective in this space in a liquid form, and then figuring out how to make it a solid. And I always said that we're going to make a bar stick deodorant, that, and then we'll later come out with some sort of a liquid deodorant, a roller or a spray, whatever it might be. The liquid might come first,
Wow.
based on what I'm seeing right now, because it's a process where I don't want to delay it more than necessary. And the one that I'm using works really, really well, although I was very much turned off to it at first, the idea of any sort of liquid deodorant. But it might just be like version A has that available, and we might see its effectiveness. We might make some tweaks and then turn that to a solid. There's a few ways this might go. And like usual, like the Nile River, it's sneaking around through the creative process here. And that's one of the things, I guess. I said it way back on a stream, and I've heard it quoted back to me now so many times. So glad I said it. I have no idea where it came from, about the coloring book of success not having lines in it anymore. The creative process also does not have any lines or page numbers. So right. The important part about the page number comment there is that you might, you're going through and you're like, all right, cool, tried that one. Okay, cool, go to the next one. You might get on page 10, and that might end up being the first version of something that you use, but then you still use page 1 through 9 after it, right? So just because you thought of something after you thought of something else, don't ever trick yourself into thinking that because you thought something else was going to come first, that it should, or that it will, because you don't know yet, right? We're putting things out into the world that don't exist. And that's what I do kind of professionally is take things that are concepts and ideas and turn them into either physical or otherwise, real world things. And you can't put too many boxes around it. So that's where we're at. It's cool. Going well. And I think we're closer than we were before we started.
There you go. Now, I've never tried a liquid deodorant, so I'll be excited to get to testing that.
I was not a fan at first. I was like, there's no dude with armpit hair that's going to use a roller ball. And I'm like, oh, well, if you get the ball wet and you actually don't rub it on like an idiot, okay, it doesn't pull your arm hairs. So, I mean, like, I'm becoming more open-minded to different directions this can take, for the sole purpose of just being able to support it becoming a thing.
Yep. And Moose, I agree. He says, I love the thought process with the combs. And again, I hate to like toot this stream's horn, but like that's the special aspect of this. It's not just that you don't see combs out or you see these new combs coming. You get the full thought process on why they're doing it a certain way and why it's taking a certain amount of time. I agree entirely. I love that.
I'm so
Absolutely
glad
love
you
that.
appreciate it, Moose, because people have commented to me in the past. They're like, I wish I could just ask you a question and get an answer. And I'm like, well, then don't ask me questions because
Right.
that's not me, unfortunately. Like, I'm not comfortable giving answers usually unless people understand what had me arrive at that answer because
Yeah.
I don't want people to think that I just came up with it from nowhere or I think that's the way it is. So that's the way it is. It's like I'm a collaborative person, but people think that I talk a lot, I over explain things. And I think the reason for that is literally I like people to know kind of like what was in my head that arrived me to a certain decision or opinion because otherwise you might come off pompous or closed off or you might come off as inflexible, right? Or very with finalities. I like people to know that, like, yeah, this is what I think, but here's why I think it. And also, here's the things about it I'm still not really sure of. So if you have thoughts on that, totally happy to change my mind.
Yeah, truly the same for me. Number one, that thought has never crossed my mind. Like, why won't Nick answer me? And I've worked with Nick for quite a while now and lots of questions, and that's
Mhm.
never crossed my mind. But the second part, I'm the same way. I get people that do tell me I over explain. I'm like, well, what's the other option? Under explain? I'll take over explain all day.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I'll
They'll be
take
like,
it.
you're a storyteller. Okay. Yeah. Yep. You
Yep.
got me. I
Yep.
I am. Yes.
Thank God, like, people like, I don't know, Quentin Tarantino were good storytellers too, right? Or else we would be
Right.
lacking a lot of really good movies in the world.
Oh, and we'll get this one here, but I just recorded a video on my public speaking tips and tricks, and I talked about in that video, and this is not an exaggeration, from every report card from kindergarten to 10th grade, it stopped at 10th grade, I had talks too much, and it was like an actual
Is the
box.
distraction in
Yeah,
class.
it had actual boxes where the teachers could check the different things. And mine, every year, every teacher had talks too much. Guess what? I talk for a living. Joke's on you, teachers. Have fun with those crappy
Ha!
kids all day. Ha!
Yeah.
So what?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I got talks too much is typically a distraction and has a hard time staying focused on one task.
Yeah, mine was that I had trouble staying still. That I always had to be standing. I was fidgeting. Oh, am I fidgeting right now? Yeah, that's just who I am. So,
Yep, sure am. I got and guess what? Now there's a whole category on stuff on Amazon that was the highest growth segments between 2009 and 2018. So, ha ha ha.
take that,
Not alone.
teachers. All right, Phil. Phil says the biggest for him is a face. Yeah. Oh my gosh, a face moisturizer. Oh, another tangent. Last night on stream, I did my first ever tied beard scarf. I split my beard down the middle. I put it around my neck and tied it behind my neck. Was not a bad look. Was not bad. Yeah, it was not bad. It kind of was fun. Yeah, let's see if Nick can pull it off here. So yeah, you throw it over the shoulder. Yup. And then tie it behind. Okay. Tell me that ain't okay. Tell me that ain't like if you're cold or you just need it's a windy day, you're doing something. Tell me that. Hey, I'm not against. Now the cool thing is when I took mine out, it had this wicked like chin strap chop type thing going on. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
The trick is that you have to be able to pull it off like a hoodie instead
Yep.
of untying it to get it undone. That's the real trick right there.
That if you can get it back over the head, then yeah, that's
Just like
next
added
level.
my own spice to it there,
Yep. And here there is evidence of the aftermath of it. That's what mine went to. Mine went to like it looked like a huge mustache. Yeah, I see the comment.
I actually really like that look right there.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'll be honest. I said
No.
it on stream a bunch. I was like, this is kind of a statement, and I'm not angry at this at all.
Dude, I don't hate that at all. I actually really like that.
Yeah. Oh, Chris in the chat put that one in the comments. That's so funny. So yeah, that happened last night. You never know what can happen. The Lorax, yeah, Yosemite Sam. There were a few.
The Lorax, yeah. That'd be me with the orange beard, man. I'd be all Loraxed out. Like,
Pork Chop says Dan flexing his length again. No, I'm not. He's got me by a lot. Where are you at right now? 20?
I don't know. Like probably I'm guessing like between 24 and 25, I'm guessing, because just a few months ago I broke 24.
No, he's got me by like 10 inches, guys. It's not even close. Not even close. All right. Again, every week I say this is gosh dang stupid, but we have 5 minutes left. So I'm going to hit a couple more of these. Phil says face moisturizer, a coffee mug, and maybe a pint glass, and also a thin beanie.
Okay, go back to that first comment. There we go. Okay, so designated face moisturizer, we're working on it. To follow the face wash, yep. A coffee mug, working on it. Pint
Ooh,
glasses, almost already done.
dang. I still remember the Jill handmade pint glasses that we did for an exclusive giveaway.
Hell yeah.
That was cool. I don't forget that stuff, Joe. And
Oh,
then maybe a
there
thin
might
beanie. Is that
just
like a floppy beanie?
no, you mean like the thin ones, like the instead of being like the ribbed, thick,
Yeah.
cottony acrylic material, more like the thin guys that you don't fold up. You pull down like a little cap, kind of.
I've never had one of those.
So, I don't wear them. I'm not a huge fan. You might just need to put a pin on one of those bad boys there, Phil.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's a $5 hat now.
That's a $5 hat. If it was 15 before, now it's 20.
Kevin says, I need lemongrass ginger in everything.
That you're not alone. I'm actually right there with you. I love
Wow.
lemongrass ginger. But before you and I stomp our feet too hard around Jill in circles with pitchforks in our hands saying that we need more lemongrass ginger, if you like lemongrass and ginger and other effervescent things that could also go in food, or on top of food, then I think you'll be really pleased with the new collaboration that's coming up here that I think we finally just landed on our final 2 cents for. So something coming up in that world, in that arena. And I think it will be lemongrass ginger and these that are kind of competing for which one's going to go in the shower products.
Yeah, and make sure you guys speak with your orders. As somebody that sees the other side of companies and see people complaining about scents and being discontinued and not and other things, it's all about the numbers, guys. It's all about the orders. If lemongrass ginger starts soaring and killing it in sales, it has to move to the other ones. But if it's not, it can't. So you got to speak with your order. Obviously, Kevin, you're only one person, but tell your friends, drop comments, make posts. That's how you get those needles to move. That's a big one.
That's it.
And then Jason says, and this will be our last one, guys. Any other shirt designs coming soon? Love the black, but I need a heather gray or dark gray type shirt.
Yes, and yes. New colors of shirts and also new designs, new prints. So we're gonna have new colors of our classic. We're also gonna keep, probably for a little bit of time, we're gonna keep that stock up. But if you notice on the website, we have a new logo that's different than the one in the corner of the stream. So that logo is going to replace the logo on the back of our shirts here coming soon. So if you like that old logo more than you like the one that's on our website, one, get used to it because I'm not back. And then two, get those old shirts now because when the new ones come out, those are just going to dwindle and they'll be gone.
New ones like, boom. Oh, let's see. Let me see here. We can get the proper. Oh,
like
baby.
That guy.
Oh, baby.
Like that guy right there. Oh. Yep, that's going to be the one on the back of the shirts coming soon to a set of shoulder blades near you.
That's clean for the back. The shoulder blade go the full width. Oh, that's clean.
Yeah, going armpit to armpit almost like that.
That's clean. I like that. I like that.
Great.
Okay, man, this was fun, you guys. Great feedback. Nick genuinely wanted to know what you guys were hoping for. And Jill, of course, is back processing it all. I know I was just going to say, I know they're both writing stuff down and fall's coming. We're getting there. The doldrums of a bearded summer are slowly starting to look like we're getting some fall temperatures and getting some beards coming. And I have the channel with the numbers to be able to follow. We are low. Like right now it's interesting. I used to notice the beginning of summer was tough on beard stuff. But now I've noticed I don't know the real reason, the numbers have been lower for company sales, but also my channel at the end of summer. Like the last kind of month from right now. So the last half of July, beginning of August has been kind of the roughest. But fall's coming. I think it might be that people they know fall is coming, so maybe they're holding off, or I don't know. The world's crazy, but I'm excited for fall. Dr. Nix is ramping up. Trust me, you guys, if you hear them being quiet, it's because they're doing something, whether it's building a soap room, whether it's getting a display room ready, whether it's training new employees like Chris to do different tasks. They're prepping everything for quarter 3 and 4 to make sure you guys have the best second half of the year possible while still delivering everything that they have right now. So Next week, we will be live 1 p.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about some fun stuff, so stay tuned on that one. But Nick, final words for the people in our closing statement.
Oh man, thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for the awesome ideas, and thanks for the validation, as usual, of letting me know that I'm not just crazy. That sometimes those plans are they work out, and people agree. So it's all good stuff. And so thanks to my beautiful wife Jill for making all these new products possible, as always, and thanks to just special thanks to Shelly who made it so that Jill can get out of shipping and receiving and really get back into production and product development. And then, of course, just a big thanks to Chris Wilson coming into the mix here on the team and getting the wood shop back to a point where Dr. Nix can produce some of the stuff that you guys are asking for, and is going to be the person that is bringing in all of this awesome new soap capabilities into our office. So just man, everyone have an amazing week. Hopefully some of this stuff was just like inspiring, like, man, I got to get out and do something too, because this other cool stuff's happening. Whatever it might have done, giving you good ideas, giving you something to look forward to, giving you people to talk to, giving you people to just listen to and poke fun at, like me.
Yes.
So, whatever it did for you, we're glad it did it. We're happy you're here, and we'll see you next Tuesday doing the same damn thing at the same damn